I'm going to share with you why a lot of people buy foreclosures, not just because they can make a lot of money, but you can buy something like this house I'm going to walk you through to actually live in, to enjoy, and it's going to really just kind of blow your mind because it's all brick gutters, just under 2,500 square feet, 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath. Let's take a look. Now this house, believe it or not, is a bank-owned home. So you can see as we walk in, it's got the open transoms there. I'm going to back it out just a little bit so you can see more of this house. I mean, it's in great shape. Hardwood floors. That's a cool room right there. Look at that. They call that the witch's hat when they do that with the ceiling. It's pretty cool. This house can be purchased with an FHA loan. You can actually 3.5% down. It's on the water. I'm going to show you that here in just a second. It does have a pool. I'll show you that. It's got a big open kitchen. It has 12-foot ceilings, recessed lights, hardwood floors. I mean, there's a 2-car garage, huge utility room. Bear with me, let me get the light for you. Huge utility room. And then it also has big living room, fireplace. There's a half bath here. Now here's what's really cool. There's a door right there, and that door actually goes outside, which I think is huge because when you build a house, that door right there, no one has to come through your house to get to the bathroom. So they stay in the wet areas, they call it. And you can see, I'll show you the water here in just a second. It's beautiful. But look, nice floors in here. This is the main bedroom. I mean, you imagine waking up to that every day. Now, you're probably asking, Wayne, how much is this house? Now, this is in Slidell, Louisiana, which is 45 minutes north of Lake Pontchartrain. It is on the water, got a deep water dock. You can put a 34-foot, 33-foot boat right there. It's got a in-ground gunite pool, large main bedroom, bathroom, has double vanities, garden tub, stand-up shower, big walk-in closet there. You can see it goes all the way back in the corner. And there's probably people watching this going, man, I need to sell my house. Because this house right now is listed for $365,000. It's just under 2,500 square feet. I can't find anything wrong with it, but other than it needs a little paint. Let's take a look upstairs. I'll turn on some lights. Because these are type of houses that I tell people you can actually, like if you're a business owner, for example, there's a loan out there. Bear with me, I should turn on the lights, I do apologize. There's a loan out there that you don't even have to have tax returns. So you got this little space right here for the kids, which is cool, or you could have an office. And then you got another full bath there, closet here, and then here, another bedroom, which is really cool. Same floors as downstairs. I mean, this house can absolutely go FHA. You can actually get a USDA loan on this house if you wanted to, and it would take you little to no money down. Now, this right here, not sure what that is. Okay, so see, a lot of people don't realize this baseboard, that's from a little water moisture, but it does have a brand new roof. These baseboards aren't real wood, that's sawdust. And the reason why that's sawdust is because it gets wet and then it expands. And this is attic area, I'm assuming. Yep, walk-in attic. You gotta love a walk-in attic. You gotta think about that, because I'm telling you, when you got a 2-story house, what's really cool is you can actually walk through there and get your stuff. I apologize for the beeping. They turn electricity off, then they kick it back on. It makes it surge a little bit. Get my exercise in, let's squat back. So, this out back area, nice deck. There's the door to the bath. All this is covered. Back porch all right here. And then this is what you get to look at every day. So you can see it's in a nice area. There's the neighbor's boats, landscaping. Here's actually all of that from that corner of that fence, white fence, to that corner of that white fence. Plus you got a hot tub. And you got a gunite pool. Now listen, that can be cleaned. There's stuff literally growing in it. This foreclosure is probably sat empty for a long time. And I'm gonna share with you here in just a second what you need to do if you're thinking about looking at, bidding, or buying any foreclosure. All right, it's back to me. Had to turn the camera around. So listen, when you buy foreclosure, the bank they're not gonna fix that. However, you can do an inspection. I always tell everybody, you can do a full home inspection. You can also do an HVAC inspection. You can do a moisture meter test inspection. You've seen that little spot up at the top there, which was in that top window. And any of that can be addressed, but not by the bank. They're not gonna fix anything, but at least you know going in. And almost every state, not all states, but almost every state, you can put up a deposit, you have your due diligence time frame, 10 to 14 days, you can do your home inspection. But you have to be approved. You either have to show that you have cash reserves to pay cash for the house, or you have to get approved for a loan. Now this house, as I mentioned, you can literally get an FHA, you only need 3.5% down. Some banks will pay the closing costs, some banks won't. I always just tell people to factor in and count on 3 to 3.5% for closing costs. But like for example, the pool, I can promise you that pool more than likely is just fine because we don't have winters cold enough to like freeze and bust pipes. People don't winterize their pools down here. Even where I'm from in Nashville, Tennessee, it's not a good idea to winterize your pool because you don't really need to. You just keep it running. As long as you keep that thing circulating, those pipes won't burst. However, you lose electricity and you have a home that's not winterized, your pipes can burst. Whole another story. But you can see, you got a deep water dock, which is really cool. Nice neighbors. And people see this and they're like, Wayne, how's that $365,000? Well, let me explain something to you. This water will rise. Not very often, believe it or not, but Lord forbid there be a big hurricane come in, strong blowing winds. That hurricane, that way is the Gulf of Mexico, and that way is Lake Pontchartrain. Lake Pontchartrain is fed by the Gulf of Mexico. So you have the Mississippi River, you have Lake Pontchartrain, you have the Gulf of Mexico. When that hurricane comes this way, it blows water in. When it blows it in, it comes up a little bit. And it could be as high as that brick wall. It could be even in the house. And that's why you have to have flood insurance because you're in flood zone A. Now, a lot of folks are like, Wayne, how much is that gonna cost me? It's on a house like this, it may run anywhere from $6,000 to $7,000 a year. It could be higher. And the reason why I say that is because it really depends on your content coverage inside the house. If you've got an expensive record collection, or you've got some very, very valuable art, or maybe you've got a couple of baby grand pianos or anything like that, it really depends on your coverage of your assets. A lot of people say, Wayne, it'd be a lot more than that. Well, sure, it may be $14,000 if you want to increase that coverage. But I just tell folks, it's up to you. Now, a lot of people will look at this house and be like, man, I'd rather buy that house for $365,000. It's a foreclosure instead of buying a $500,000 house that's not on the water, because your payment's going to be roughly the same, even though you have to pay higher flood insurance on this house. You get to look at that every day. Now, a question you may be asking, and they may have already put it up at the bottom of the screen down here, is where do you find these houses? I tell folks you go to findmyforeclosure.com. If you want to see homes before they hit Zillow, before they're listed with real estate brokerages, or anything like that, you can go to findmyforeclosure.com. Now, once you do that, you're able to ride around and look at these houses before they're ever listed with a real estate brokerage company. Oftentimes, a lot of these houses are put up for auction, not just necessarily at the courthouse steps. So there's websites out there. You can go to findmyforeclosure.com. That is an affiliate site that I'm affiliated with. I do receive compensation whenever you purchase the use of the site. It's $40 a month. You can cancel it anytime, but I'm completely honest with folks. They pay me a little bit to share that, but I wouldn't share that with you if I didn't personally use the site. I personally use it on a weekly basis because not only is it foreclosures, it's short sales, pre-foreclosures. Unfortunately, people that have been 30 days or more late, it shows up there too. Bankruptcies, if somebody's filed bankruptcy, they may not be reaffirming their house to keep their home. They may have to sell their house. You can reach out to them. Tax liens, all of that stuff is at findmyforeclosure.com. What's really cool is you get to see it, the opportunity to buy it and bid on it before it ever gets listed. Now, if they don't want your bid or won't take your bid, then you can absolutely increase your bid amount. But at least you have the right to ride around and kind of get a bird's eye view and learn more about that property before it hits the market. So listen, I'm Wayne Turner, been in the real estate business for 30 years. I'm a big believer in you learn it, you master it, and you teach it. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Give us a like, give us a thumbs up, share it with somebody that you know that you think would be a candidate for buying this house or any other foreclosure. Until next time, thank you, and may God bless you and your family.